He built Mao's power. He gave Mao an army. He made Mao unstoppable. And Mao repaid him. The only way dictators know, by turning loyalty into a trap. Zhu De fought for China. Mao fought for himself. A general forged a revolution, and a dictator devoured the man who made him king. Tonight, in Dictators Files, the dark side of power, we expose Mao's greatest fear, the soldier who knew too much. 1886 to 1927, China is dying slowly. Foreign soldiers on the coasts, warlords carving up the land like meat, children starving in dust. Zhu De grows up watching men with guns decide justice. Quiet boy, hard eyes. He learns early, power is not spoken, power is carried. He becomes a soldier, not for glory, for survival. Historian Rana Mitter writes, Zhu De was shaped by a China where the government existed to save itself, not its people. Zhu refuses to become that kind of ruler. 1927. Shanghai. Smoke from gun barrels. Screams echo off alley walls. Chiang Kai-shek's forces massacre communists in the streets. Zhu sees comrades shot while begging for mercy, sees loyalty treated like stupidity. That night, Zhu De vanishes with a small band of survivors, men who trust him more than they fear death. He abandons everything except his rifle and one belief. If China will live, the old China must die. Rumors reach him, a radical whose uprisings keep failing, but who refuses to stay down. A teacher poet turned peasant prophet hiding in the mountains of Jiangxi, Mao Zedong. Most dismiss Mao as a nuisance. Zhu hears something different, a wolf pretending to be a shepherd. So he goes to meet him, one predator searching for another. Historian Arne Westad states, Zhu De gave the revolution its muscle. Mao gave it the hunger. Together, they will build an army, not for freedom, for domination. And Mao already knows, a general disloyal is the most dangerous man in the revolution. 1928 to 1934. Jinggangshan. Remote, fog-covered. A perfect nest for rebellion and betrayal. Zhu De arrives with trained soldiers, disciplined, armed, loyal. Mao steps forward, eyes gleaming, measuring Zhu like a tool he plans to use then discard. Historian Philip Short writes, Mao saw in Zhu the power he lacked and the threat he could never allow to grow. They shake hands. China changes. Zhu teaches guerrilla warfare the hard way. Strike fast, disappear faster. Let the enemy bleed from 1,000 cuts. It works. Peasant volunteers swell the ranks. Villages whisper, Zhu's soldiers are unstoppable. Mao listens and changes the words. He orders new banners. Mao's Red Army, not Jews, never Jews. Zhu doesn't protest. He thinks victory matters more than credit. That belief is Mao's favorite weakness. Loyal officers question Mao's ideas. Zhu defends them. They're good soldiers. Mao has them beaten, expelled, executed. Zhu watches men he trained die for disagreeing with a poet. Historian Roderick McFarquhar notes, it was the first moment Zhu saw Mao's hunger and chose to look away. He convinces himself the revolution is worth it. Mao convinces himself he must destroy anyone the army might love more than him. Mao stands on a hilltop addressing the troops Zhu forged. The party commands the gun, and the gun must never command the party. Zhu hears the truth hidden in those words. I control you. You will never control me. Mao smiles. Zhu nods. A deal is sealed. Zhu will give Mao the throne. Mao will give Zhu nothing but fear. 1934 to 1936. Chiang Kai-shek's troops close in. Bullets, fire, starvation. The Red Army is dying. Zhu De calculates the only way out, a retreat so brutal most won't survive it. The Long March, a gamble between extinction and legend. Historian Rana Mitter writes, Zhu De's command decisions made survival possible. He leads men over mountains that steal their breath, across rivers swollen with corpses, through snow that eats their feet. Every step, a grave waiting to be filled, and Mao rides on a litter carried by the soldiers Zhu trained, starving, sick, surrounded. The army needs Zhu's orders to live. But Mao sees his chance, not to survive the march, to own it. He calls a meeting at Zunyi, 1935, accuses the leadership of failure, positions himself as the savior. Zhu offers no rebuttal. He has no interest in speeches. Mao's lips curl with victory. Historian Philip Short notes, Mao claimed the march by capturing the narrative, not the terrain. Zhu keeps marching. Mao claims command. Men freeze standing up. They die holding rifles they no longer feel. Zhu De walks beside them, hands blistered, knees shaking, sharing his last handfuls of food. He buries comrades with his own torn fingers. Mao writes future chapters of propaganda that erase Zhu's fingerprints from every victory. When survivors reach Yan'an, exhausted and skeletal, Mao climbs a platform and raises his fist to cheering troops. Zhu De stands behind him, unthanked, unseen. Zhu saved the army. Zhu saved Mao. And Mao has learned something invaluable. Soldiers die. Legends do not. Become the legend. Zhu sees it too late. Loyalty won battles. Narrative wins the throne. 1937 to 1945. Japan attacks. Cities burn. Millions flee. China cries out for warriors. Not doctrine, not speeches. Zhu De steps forward. China's shield. Mao stays behind. China's whisper. Historian Arne Westad writes, Zhu De fought the war. Mao prepared to win the peace. Zhu organizes daring raids behind enemy lines, destroys supply routes, bleeds the invaders one ambush at a time. Villagers chant his name. He becomes a symbol of hope, the general who defends the people while Chiang Kai-shek retreats and Mao hides in Yan'an caves, writing ideology under lamplight. Mao reads the reports. The terror inside him grows. A dictator cannot allow a hero to exist unless he controls the hero. The communist press rewrites the war. Mao's leadership brings victory. Zhu's strategies become Mao's genius. Zhu's triumphs become Mao's foresight. Historian Frank Dikötter writes, Mao stole the war from the man who fought it. Zhu dismisses it as politics. Mao treats it as a test. How much theft will Zhu allow? Answer: too much. Every soldier who cheers for Zhu tightens Mao's chest. Every village thanking Zhu darkens Mao's eyes. Zhu is becoming a figure the people might follow instead of Mao. And in a dictatorship, alternative loyalty is a death sentence. Mao decides Zhu must be distanced, command divided, credit diluted, power extracted. The war ends with China cheering Zhu and Mao sharpening a blade behind him. Japan surrenders. China celebrates. Zhu thinks, we have a nation to rebuild. Mao thinks, we have threats to eliminate. October 1st, 1949. Beijing, Tiananmen Gate. Mao Zedong declares the People's Republic of China. Crowds roar like a rising storm. Beside him stand the titans of the revolution, Zhu De, commander-in-chief of the PLA, Zhou Enlai, premier, Mao's smooth and loyal fixer, Liu Shaoqi, future president, respected for intellect, Chen Yi, marshal and Shanghai liberator, Lin Biao, brilliant but sickly general, Mao worshipper. But the eyes of the people are drawn to one figure, Zhu De, the soldier who actually won the war. Historian Arne Westad writes, to the rank and file, Zhu De was the father of the army. This is the moment when Mao's fear begins to mutate. 1950 to 1954. Zhu performs the role Mao assigns, reviewing troops, cutting ribbons, signing orders. Mao already approved. He is command-in-chief in uniform, but a hostage in politics. Meetings shrink around him, his advice ignored, his authority redistributed to those Mao trusts to obey, like Lin Biao, who replaces Zhu as Mao's new military favorite. Mao's message is sharp. Your army belongs to me. You only built it. 1958. Mao announces the Great Leap Forward. Backyard steel furnaces, fantasy grain quotas, total obedience over reality. Zhu sees disaster from the first week, villagers melting their tools, children starving while officials report bumper harvests. He warns Mao, we are risking famine. Mao's stare turns cold enough to freeze blood. You fear the masses. That is counter-revolution. Historian Philip Short notes, Zhu understood the danger, but he also understood Mao had become untouchable. Truth becomes treason. Honesty becomes suicide. So Zhu stays silent, knowing the silence will kill millions. Liu Shaoqi and Zhou Enlai try to fix the famine. Lin Biao enforces Mao's will in the army. The party grows afraid to breathe wrong. Zhu De? He becomes a decorative relic. All his power, earned in blood, now lies in Mao's hands. And Mao has decided Zhu's usefulness is over. Zhu believed loyalty would protect him. Mao knows loyalty only creates future threats. The general watches Mao's China rise and realizes this is not the country he fought for, but a kingdom built to serve one man. May 1966. Cultural revolution ignites like a match in a gasoline lake. Mao is older now, his body weak, his grip on power threatened by memories people still hold of men like Zhu De. So Mao unleashes a simple weapon. Youth plus fear equals obedience. Millions of teenagers become Red Guards, fanatics with Mao badges, blind killers with permission. Their mission: destroy enemies of Chairman Mao, especially those who look like heroes. Zhu De is nearly 80 years old. He is about to learn that old loyalty means nothing in new terror. Red Guards storm Zhu's home. The same army he built now watches, forbidden to protect him. They drag him into the street under banners screaming, "Down with the traitor Zhu!" His crime? He's respected. He's loved. He's a memory of a China where Mao did not rule everything. Historian Michael Schoenhals writes, "Revolutionary hatred targeted those whose loyalty once sustained the regime. A young guard swings a belt buckle into his skull. Blood spills across the pavement that once welcomed victories he led. Zhu is forced to wear a dunce cap labeled Enemy of Mao Thought. He stands for hours, knees shaking, bones ready to snap. Crowds spit. Teenagers kick him. He refuses to scream. Even this moment, he tries to remain a soldier. Mao does not attend. He does not need to. His silence is the command. His smile is the sentence. He reads reports of Zhu's humiliation and nods, satisfied. Zhu made Mao powerful. Now Mao makes Zhu disappear. Other founders suffer too. Liu Shaoqi, beaten to death. Ping Dehuai, tortured until he dies. He Long, starved in prison. Chen Yi, humiliated and broken. Lin Biao, suicide by plane crash. Every man who ever helped Mao rise is now a target Mao aims to erase. Because a dictator knows the witnesses are the real enemies. As his teeth are knocked out and his medals stripped away, Zhu De finally understands. He didn't build a revolution. He built a monster he fed, a monster he protected, a monster that now devours him for doing so. Zhu De is 90 years old. A lifetime of war has left his body steel hard. But Mao's fear has left his spirit cracked. No command, no honors. A general silenced by the very army he built. He lies in a military hospital bed, surrounded by the smell of disinfectant and the sound of footsteps deciding whether he still matters. Historian Frank Dikötter writes, Zhu De survived the purges, but not the erasure. Survival isn't victory, not under a dictator. July 6, 1976. Zhu De stops breathing. No crowds, no 21-gun salute, no soldiers marching in respect, no mention on Mao's lips. The father of the People's Liberation Army dies without his army allowed to salute him. Mao ensures China barely notices. A single page in the newspaper, buried deep, small font, like his legacy. 2 months later, September 9th, 1976, Mao dies. The nation explodes in compulsory grief, sirens, wails, endless mourning speeches. Zhu De's body is already cold in the ground. His name already fading from textbooks. His achievements already stolen. Mao leaves the world knowing the last man who could challenge his myth is gone. Dictators do not fear enemies. They fear proof that they needed help. Zhu De was that proof. His soldiers once shouted his name. Now they are afraid to remember it. His hands shaped the gun that Mao used to hold China hostage. His loyalty forged a crown that Mao used to crush every loyal man. Historian Roderick McFarquhar concludes, Zhu De built Mao's power and was discarded as soon as it was complete. Zhu believed in the revolution. Mao believed the revolution was him. And in Mao's China, loyalty is not a virtue. It is a death sentence.